everyone, I am Dr. Uma Devi, gynecologist at Sri Chaudeshwari Hospital. PCOD or PCOS, polycystic ovarian disorder or syndrome, is a common endocrinopathy which is seen in mostly women of reproductive age group. This month September is considered as PCOS Awareness Month because by creating proper awareness and educating the people, we can definitely fight against PCOD collectively. By that we can reduce the prevalence rate of PCOD. That is why this month is considered as PCOS Awareness Month. For that, we have to educate the patients regarding what is PCOD, what is the pathophysiology behind PCOD, what are the symptoms of PCOD, what are the causes for PCOD, and how we can treat PCOD. Coming to polycystic ovarian disorder, it is multiple cysts in the ovary. Polycystic ovarian disorder. It's a complex disorder with multiple phenotypes and heterogeneous manifestations, which shows that there is an interplay between genetic vulnerability and environmental conditions. Thus, it is a metabolic and endocrine disorder characterized mainly by hyperandrogenism, chronic anovulation, and PCO changes. WHO says that almost around 116 million people worldwide are suffering from PCOD problem. That is around 3.4%. And also the prevalence rate ranges from 2.2% to as high as 26%. Coming to pathophysiology of PCOD, it is mainly hyperandrogenism, that is impairment in hypothalamo-pituitary axis leading to increased LH secretion causes premature granulosa cell luteinization, which in turn leads to arrest of prematurely activated follicle, that is presence of multiple cysts instead of healthy follicle. The next is derangement in insulin metabolism. It will lead to insulin resistance, which in turn leads to high insulin levels and the problems associated with that. The next is PCO changes reduces the synthesis of sex binding globulins. This is the pathophysiology behind PCOD. Coming to what are the causes for PCOD? Was it the same when we were looking back? Our mothers or grandmothers, they were not facing this problem too much. But the present generation, if I am not wrong, every 1 in 10 women, we the practitioners are facing this problem, and it's becoming a challenge for us. Why is it so? It is mainly because of lifestyle changes and also environmental factors. What are the lifestyle changes? We the younger generation presently, we are more addicted for electronic gadgets like TV, mobile, laptop and other video games. We will sit in a corner of a house and we keep on playing instead of involving in outdoor activities or physical activities, and there is no good habits like yoga, exercise, walking all the time. It is only sedentary lifestyle we are leading, and this is the prime cause for endocrine metabolism derangement. The other cause is eating habits. We are fond of mainly junk foods. It contains only carbohydrates and it fills only our tummy, and it doesn't add any diet value. It doesn't have proteins or good quality of fats, nothing. But we are fond of only eating junk foods, which again will cause obesity and derangement of endocrine metabolism. The other causes are, it is mainly stress, lack of sleep, and environmental pollutants. These are also associated with PCO changes. These are the main causes for PCOD what we are facing today. Coming to symptoms. The main symptoms are in terms of hyperandrogenism, chronic anovulation and PCO changes. Worldwide we use Rotterdam criteria, that is presence of any two among these three. If it is there, we can consider it as a case of PCOD. What are the symptoms of hyperandrogenism? With hyperandrogenism, especially the adolescents, young women, they will come with full of acne, obesity, hirsutism, male pattern of baldness and hyperpigmentation, that is acanthosis nigricans, what we call, around the neck. With these complaints they will come. Pertaining to chronic anovulation, they will come with irregular menstruation, oligoamenorrhea or irregular spotting, and in case of married couple, they will come mostly with infertile couple, that is infertility problem. And when we start evaluating the patient, then we will come to know that the patient is suffering from PCO changes. Apart from this, they will also have other comorbidities, like there is increased risk of cardiovascular disease and there is fourfold raised risk of type 2 diabetes mellitus, sleep apnea, mood swings. These are all the problems these patients will be suffering with. And when we say for an ultrasonograph, we will see multiple immature follicles, that is presence of more than 12 follicles ranging from 8 to 9, or the ovarian volume will be more than 10 ml. Along with that, hormonal assay, if we say, there is definitely a problem with that. With these symptoms and clinical assessment, we can tell that the patient is suffering from PCO changes. These are the clinical symptoms of PCO changes. Coming to the main challenging option, that is treatment. Is that only the medicines which will cure PCOD? No, it is lifestyle changes along with the medicines. We can collectively, if we club these two, we can definitely fight against PCOD. So what are the lifestyle changes we are supposed to educate the patient? Here is a list of what to do, what not to do in case of PCOD. We have to advise the patient to reduce the weight by 5 to 10% and maintain body weight same. This they can achieve by doing regular walk at least 20 minutes a day or 5 days a week. And in case of workplace, advise them to use staircase instead of lift. Advise them to sleep at least 6 hours a day. And coming to eating habits, we have to advise them to eat less carbohydrates and plate full of proteins and good amount of fats. That is, advise them to use plate method of healthy eating, that is 1/4 raw vegetables, 1/4 cooked vegetable, 1/4 protein and 1/4 carbohydrate. With this, they have to take the medicines as recommended by the doctor. What not to do? Avoid drastic weight loss strategies, which is more prevalent in present marketing. And advise them not to have eatables like vada, samosa, which are made up of recycled oil. Advise them not to have deep fried foods, and also not to consume more of non-veg food, because non-vegetarian food will comprise mostly of deep fried items. And ask them to avoid processed meat. Along with that, we have to educate the patient regarding the importance of this, and they have to strictly follow this. With this and along with this medicines, definitely we can fight against PCOD. What are the medicines? Medicines comprise mainly of oral contraceptives, that is, it will reduce hyperandrogenism and regulates estrogen levels. Next is, in case of ovulation induction, we can go with clomiphene citrate or letrozole. And the third is metformin. It will reduce insulin resistance and balances the insulin levels. Next is the gonadotropin. The other drug what we are going to use is myoinositol along with folic acid. It will also help in reducing hyperandrogenism, and also it reduces insulin resistance and regulates menstrual cycles, especially in case of ART. What I want to tell is, by creating awareness and educating the population regarding PCOD, definitely we can fight collectively together against PCOD by adopting good lifestyle changes and good eating habits. With medicines, we can provide the woman a better life. Thank you.